Alright, I am Tahuti Kepura Iteru. Now this video right here is a continuation from my last couple of videos that I did addressing this conscious community right here. So now my last video I said that the black conscious community is basically dead, it's finished right here. And now if you look now of the aftermath of this whole December 18th, look at what's transpiring right here. Look, so if you look at all the videos that these guys are making, all the videos that these Negroes are making now, if you notice now, none of these Negroes are actually talking about the topic of the debate, which was the Medu Neter. None of these Negroes are actually talking about the Medu Neter or talking about the information. All these Negroes are talking about is the gossip, the he said, she said, gossip. So again, this builds on top of what I said in my last video. The black culture community is dead. It's dead now. It's finished now. Look at what's transpiring right here. So in this video right here, rather than look at it from a standpoint of, you know, he said, she said, gossip and all that, I want to break this down for what it really is. I want to look at this for what it really is. And what it really is that the black conscious community was an experiment. It was an experiment, right? And like any experiments, how, you know, things can go wrong. So what took place on December 18th was the experiment gone wrong. So let's deal with this right here. So now, what originally sparked this video though, was again, I was reading the comment section again. Once again, this comment section now, I was reading the comment section, and one Negro in the comment section said something quite interesting. A Negro, you know what I'm saying, he's trying to be intuitive, things of that nature, trying to be intuitive, trying to sum up the situation right here. He's trying to sum it up and things of that nature. And again, what the Negro said was that he's looking at all the chaos that was transpiring in the community, all this chaos, all this beefing and all this bullshit, right? He's looking at it, and he said that, now I know how Egypt fell. This is what this Negro said. And it was interesting. And again, what this nigga got to understand is that is not how Egypt fell. Because what you got to understand, and what I spoke about in my video, how the country community was created, is that all of these Negroes are ex-convicts. They're all ex-convicts, ex-criminals, ex-drug dealers. They're all ex-convicts. You see what I'm saying? And in Egypt now, we would not give ex-convicts or criminals the forefront. We would not give them a leadership role. But in the black country community now, these criminals, these convicts have leadership roles. The black country community was an experiment. That's the experiment. How we can reform these criminals now and give them new lives now. That was the experiment. Putting these criminals, these ex-convicts into a pot, right? And seeing if they could be reformed. That was the experiment. So we're going to deal with this experiment right here. So now we're going to look at some examples right here. Alright, we're going to start off with some examples. Now, so again, in my last video now, in my video how the black culture community was created, I spoke about how they pull these Negroes out the prison system. That's what they do. They pull them out the prison system. Again, this is going to be a funny video as well, but truth is stranger than fiction. So what it is now, they pull these Negroes out of the prison system, right? And what's happening here is this. Now, what happens is that these Negroes, they're all on parole. It's not just young pharaohs on parole. No, best believe all these Negroes are on parole. Let me show you how this shit works right here. So all these Negroes are on parole, and they pull them out on a type of lease, again, they're still in the system, but they pull them out on a type of lease, on a type of agreement right here. So again, a good example of this would be the brother Natural Tahuti. I want to deal with this Natural Tahuti. So he was part of the black conscious community experiments, right? But again, when they pull him out of the prisons, they don't call it the black conscious community experiment. They just call it the black community reform program. That's what they call it. They call it the reform program. And what happens here is this. Now, when you come out in the reform program, if you follow the path and do what they say, right? You can, you know what I'm saying, you can have a new life, you can have all these different things. We can, like I said, we can give you cars, we can give you houses, we can give you a new life only in the black community reform program. So what happened was Tahuti, Natural Tahuti now, they gave them a new life, new cars, they gave them all that stuff, right? But what happens is that if you detour off the agreement, if you detour off the agreement that they made with you, you're back in the prison system, because it was never a permanent thing. It was a lease like system. So people like Brother Polite, best believe, right, that Brother Polite, if he were to detour off his task, what he was meant to do, he's back in the prison system as well. So again, but Brother Polite is a good example of, if you follow what they give you to do, if you follow the task, we can give you cars, we can give you houses, we can give you a new life right there. Well, that's how it works. But now I want to go deeper into this. And also, so again, they pull him out of the system. And what also they do is they give him this pack, right? They give him the pack right here. And what they do, they give him their pack, and they give him their name, and they give him their doctrine. So they're giving these Negroes names. This is why these Negroes, they got these weird ass names, these Kemetic names. They've got these names, right, that not just Kemetic names, but they're names that they don't make no sense. Their names don't make no sense at all. Like, how the hell are you a natural Tahuti? That don't even make no sense, because they're giving these Negroes names, right? So they give him this pack, right? And they give him their name, right? And in this pack, they give him their doctrine. That's why these Negroes, they're teaching these weird-ass doctrines that you can't find in any books. So again, they're just coming out, pulling it out their ass. The black woman is God, and all this extraterrestrial stuff. Again, they're pulling it out their ass because they're giving these Negroes doctrines. It's all in the pack, right? And these Negroes gotta follow the pack. Now, in this book, in this pack, in this little booklet that they give these Negroes, right, they also have the different names of the people in the community who are also part of the Black Community Reform Program. That's why all these Negroes know each other, even though they're from different states and different things, and they all know each other because they're part of the Black Community Reform Program. And they got their names, they got their biographies, they got their numbers, you know what I'm saying? So they call them up, this and that. They got different biographies on them and things of that nature. So again, that's how it works right there. And they get different biographies, so in the case I want to start beefs with each other and things, they can do that. It's all in the pack. It's all in the pack. And in the pack also comes with information and knowledge. So that's why these Negroes, they got videos, all these different videos, all these different topics, because they're giving these Negroes information. We can give you information. So they're giving these Negroes information right here. So again, and also in this pack right here, right, it also has an FAQ section, a frequently asked questions section at the back of the pack. So one of the frequently asked questions will be, what should I do if they start accusing me of being an agent? And in this pack now, they have rebuttals in the pack. If they start accusing you of being an agent, turn to page 25. And then they start giving them the rebuttals. That's why these niggas come out with these slick rebuttals and things of that nature, because it's all premeditated. It's all in the pack. Just when in doubt, just refer to the pack. That's what they do. They're giving these Negroes information right here. And also again, let me show you how it works even deeper. Now, when they pull them out the prison system now, they choose which community they're going to go into. They choose the community. So it's not always the Kemetic community. Sometimes it might be the Moorish community, the Israelite community, and they say, you're going to go over here, and they show them who they're going to report to. So if it's the Kemetic community, say, Sarnetta is who you have to report to. Or, the Israelite community, you want to go to General Yohanan. Or they're giving these Negroes, they're appointing these Negroes positions, and they're giving them names, and they're giving, again, this is going to be a funny video right here, but truth is stranger than fiction. So they're giving these Negroes names, and they're giving them clothes to match up with that specific doctrine. That's why these Negroes got all these clothes, they got all these different clothes coming out with these clothes out of nowhere. Who's making these clothes? Because again, they're dressing these Negroes up like mannequins right here. So again, this is the Black community was an experiment, but we want to go deeper into this. So now when you see the stuff that was transpiring on December 18th now, and these Negroes talking about, they called the police. Let's deal with this properly. So again, when they pull them out of the system now, it's an lease-like system. It's a lease-like system. It's an agreement system. And they're still chained to the prison. They're still in the system. So the police never actually stopped watching these Negroes. They never actually stopped watching them. So what happened basically on December 18th was these Negroes thought that they could break the agreement. They could break the agreement now and start breaking free and doing their own thing, forgetting that they are part of the Black Community Reform Program. So nobody called the police. These Negroes are constantly on their watch because they are part of the reform program. This is how it works. This is the sad reality right here. Alright, so now I want to go deeper into this right here. So now, as it pertains to, again, so like I said, this is not how Egypt fought, because in Egypt now, we would not give these criminals, these convicts, right, the leadership role. They would not get a leadership role. So now, in an upstanding community, right? In an upstanding community, let's say if you have the That's why, so again, in the upstanding community now, you have criminal record checks right here. So now, let's say, for example, you are a child molester, a child rapist or whatever, child molester right here. Now, it doesn't matter how reformed you think you are, how much rehab you think that you did, you can never work with children again. Because how can we be sure that you can be fully reformed? We can't be sure that you can be fully reformed. So as a precaution, you can never work with children again. But in this Black Conscious Community experiment, everything is turned upside down. Let me show you how this works right here. So now, in this Black Conscious Community experiment right here, in this Black Community Reform Program, right, you can have Negroes that are ex-murderers, ex-attempted murderers, gangbangers, right? All kinds of criminals right here. And now, again, they have leadership roles in the community right here. So let me give you an example. You may have a Negro, you know, he was a gangbanger or whatever, right? And he was essentially, you know, he could have been stealing cars and breaking into people's houses, essentially destroying people's credit scores, right? But now, in the Black Community Reform Program, this same Negro that was once destroying people's credit scores can now repair your credit score now. He can now give you the status correction. The Black Conscious Community was an experiment. Look at this right here. So again, you know, you could be an ex-gangbanger, you could be an ex-attempted murderer. Now, in the Black Community Reform Program, now you're a black activist. Look at this right here. So again, the Black Conscious Community was an experiment. So all this stuff that transpired, things of that nature, all this stuff that transpired, that was just the experiment gone wrong. These Negroes forgot where they came from. They forgot that they were part of the reform program. So that's all that took place right here. So again, this video right here is just basically, again, just breaking down, looking at it for what it really is. Right? The Black Conscious Community was an experiment. Alright, so again, the Black Conscious Community is a greenhouse, and they're planting Negroes like seeds. The Black Conscious Community is a garden, and everybody is a plant right here. They're all plants. That's the key. The Black Conscious Community was an experiment. So I want to say in this video right here, make sure you share this video right here. Because again, YouTube, they will not allow this video like this to get out right there. They want the gossip, they want the beef, they want all the bullshit out here. They don't want somebody making sense of the situation. So make sure you share this video right here. Alright, black people, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you took some good information from this. Alright, black people, thanks for watching.